Hey everyone, welcome back to Warhammer Quest. I'm DisturbingPuppet. So we are on our first actual mission after finishing the tutorial. We have our group. We'll kind of take a look at our gear before we move on. And we are here to kill a bunch of spiders that are swarming, breeding underground, that if local farmers are worried about them spilling out and eating all his crops, but probably more like eating him and any animals he has on the farm, not really crops. I feel like spiders, are there any vegetarian spiders? I think there actually are one or two, but who knows? All right, so we have some gear here with our dwarf. So we have a basic dwarven axe, helmet. We're starting off as like baby's first adventures at level 1. We do have some special gear down here I'm kind of curious to look at. And we've got small bandages. Down here, what do we have? Gotrik's axe, really, 11 to 15 damage, doubles damage on enemies of toughness 7 or higher. So I mean, why wouldn't we use that instead? So we'll swap that out. So we'll definitely take that. Over here, we have a different Way Watcher than we had before. So this is Al-Tahir. Is it the same information? Yeah, same. So you're just a Wood Watcher, or Way Watcher, sorry. You do have some special stuff. I feel like we shouldn't have access to this stuff. Like, why do we have this really powerful stuff? Why wouldn't I use the really powerful stuff? So you have a basic sword, 2 to 4 damage, whereas this is 10 to 12, and attacks burn enemies. I mean, absolutely, let's use that. And a Reaver Bow, 11 to 13 damage. Once per dungeon, the wielder may fire a multi-shot, striking their target and other nearby enemies in line of sight. It's way more damage. Why wouldn't I? Grisak the Bloody, our Marauder. Yeah, I feel like we shouldn't have this legendary or rare stuff. Slayer of Kings. Initially, though, I don't know. Maybe we keep the sword and axe. Or the axe and the shield. Increased toughness, double base attack, slight chance to attack friends over foes. Wait a minute. Okay, that one I'm not so sure about, because we're weak enough that like one hit's going to kill me. So I think we're going to hold off on that one. And then for our wizard over here, Herman Grundle. Staff of Volnus, decrease spell cost by 1. I mean, that's probably better than what we have. +1 max wounds, not bad. He's kind of weak, but I think this is going to make casting spells a lot easier. So let's take that. Now, I do have some other items. We have a Finger of Death Scroll, and we can look at that. Actually, you probably want to exit out, unless I can do it here. Yeah, holding it doesn't work. So, what we want to do... on it's all each individual person. So he's got bandages, bandages, bandages. You've got spells, and then the Finger of Death Scroll, as well as the bandages. So the Finger of Death Scroll, 15 to 30 damage. I'm assuming scrolls we just get to use once, and it's gone. For our spell options, we have Shadow Bolt. The wizard throws a projectile dealing damage to the target and a chance to hit surrounding fighters for minor wounds proportional to our level. Healing Mist heals target warrior for 1 to 6 wounds. We can see the costs here, so a little expensive. We currently only have 5. Shadow Daggers, it's only 1. Attack the target enemy, target adjacent enemy, as well as anyone standing to the target's left or right. So we'd have to be point blank range. Each Shadow Bolt causes a low number of wounds proportionate to the wizard's battle level. Okay. So we are kind of right here. I feel like we want our tanks moving forward, so I'm going to have you advance up. 4 giant rats. Those aren't spiders. Well, new journal page, giant rat. Dungeons are not only home to orcs and goblins, but countless broods of vermin lurk within. There are plenty of the more commonly seen rats in the catacombs the warrior will visit, but there are also far more dangerous vermin as well. Rats as big as hounds and twice as bold, ready to rip out with yellowed incisors and rip the leg off a blundering intruder. So we can zoom out, but then it kind of makes it difficult to see stuff. I mean, we might as well just start chopping away. Oh, we don't have him selected anymore. Yeah, we've got movement, so let's move on up. I do only have the 1 attack, though. So let's take you out because you're kind of around the corner. Okay, one hit kill. We do only have the one attack because we are playing with kind of baby's first adventurers at this point. Can you make it? Yeah, you can. Let's go for a diagonal because we can't attack diagonally. So let's get you up here. We do have the special axe. Big old chop. Very nice. We've got ranged weapons and we've got spells in the back. I wonder if I can move through. If I block my guys off, is that going to be a problem? I have a ranged and a close combat attack, so I don't know. I think we just go ranged. Let's go behind and see if we can shoot around without any problems. Probably, although I wonder if someone was here, if we could actually take the shot. Alright, well, you're dead. One left. You are so far back here. I don't know if we can get you in range. Let's move you up. Shadow Bolt, it's highlighted, so I'm assuming we're within range. I do have enough magic. Fire it off. Looks like it's got that chance to hit around. I wonder if that will hit our own guys. Excellent. Get some arrowheads. Item has no use in combat, but can be sold in the market. Alright. So that's something I haven't seen yet, is kind of what happens when we're out of the dungeons. Everybody's good, so yeah, we'll just end our turn. Only 3 winds of magic this time. That is a bit low. Ironbreaker. Nothing. Only one way to go. And keep the tanks up front. So it does seem like we can't move through our own guys. So like if we're blocking. Then again, we can't move backwards either, so maybe we did use all our movement there. I'm not sure. I kind of feel like there's no way we used all our movement there. A bit more magic this turn. Keep trying to use my keyboard to move the map around. Actually, no. Well, I tried to cancel it by right-clicking. That didn't work. We just did it. So, if I right-click, is that? No, it just counts the same as left-click or right-click. It's the same. I need to click off a tile we can't move to kind of exit out of acting for that person. Alright. 5 giant bats. The many dark places of the old world, creatures gather and lurk, some to hide away, others to hunt. Giant bats are vicious creatures that crave flesh and will seek it out and will seek it out above or below ground. That the adventurers willingly walk into the giant bat's territory is all the better for the creatures as it saves them looking far for prey. Well, I mean, we're right here. I can still move, but I only have 1 attack, so, and there's a lot of these guys. Just go for a big old chop. Oh, a whiff. That's going to make it hard for us to get in here and do stuff. I wonder, like I said, can we shoot through our own people and stuff? Once we attack, we can't move, so I might want to go further, or we could try to rely on spells to hit more than 1. Like, we do have the mana, so if I move up... Can I pick, for like Shadow Bolt, can I pick anywhere? Like there? No, I've got to actually pick a target. So, I mean, there's a chance we hit both of them. Okay, we killed the one we weren't going for. Used all my mana. I don't have anything else ranged. I can still move, but I don't really feel like we should bother. Go for a big chop there. Oh, another rough miss. Well, I mean, one way or the other, we have a ranged shot. Potentially, I could move up, do a close combat attack, and then maybe take a range shot here, but I don't know if we can shoot through our own guys. If I had to guess, no. Or we could take a shot further back. So that's an option, but then I'm kind of putting you at risk. And you're not as tanky as everybody else. They'd rather focus on my guys up front, like who have the shields and extra armor. So I'm just going to take a shot from here. We're going to play it really safe. Wow. Okay, lots of misses. Well, so much for that. I mean, at least they got some misses as well. Oh, coming back. Another miss. What? They might have a low chance to hit. It could also be armor. I'm not sure if they can... if it's counting attack roll or if it's attack versus defense. Yeah, it's just how many actions. They just have one, but I don't really know. Weapon skill's only one. If it works like Warhammer Fantasy did or used to... Oh, pinning. We are pinned. What is pinned? If there's a monster adjacent to your warrior at the start of your turn, there's a chance your warrior will become pinned. So just a chance, not guaranteed. Pinned warriors are unable to move as they're standing their ground in combat against their opponent. Although pinned warriors may not move, they're still able to attack and use items and magic. Now, if I kill this thing, do I become unpinned, is what I'm curious about. But yeah, so it's got like a 1 weapon skill. Well, I've only got a 2, so 3... 3 weapon skill, 3 weapon skills. Actually, she's a pretty good fighter. 3, 2. So, yeah, how about you? Let's go for a chop there. Another miss. I feel like it should be, like, I'm curious what the percentages are. So, like, if I've got... If it was Warhammer Fantasy, so for example... He's got a 1 weapon skill, and I've got a 3. If it's even, it's 50%. So on a d6, it'd be a 4, 5, or 6. If I've got an advantage of 2, I should have a +2 to that 50%. So instead of it being a 4, 5, or 6, it should be a 2 or better, because I have an advantage of 2. That's how the old Warhammer Fantasy, I'm not sure about Warhammer Fantasy now, but that's how it would have worked. So you would have thought on a d6 roll, a 2 or better would have hit there, but we did get a miss. So I'm not sure if it is based on that, or if it's something different. Like there's a special dice you roll or something in this that you wouldn't in other games. Kind of like, if anyone out there remembers Siege of the Citadel, it was a Mutant Chronicles tie-in. Mutant Chronicles was the role-playing game. Warzone was the miniature combat game, and then they had a board game where you had units going through a dungeon fighting zombies and all kinds of horrible monstrosities and things with these... it's like a cyberpunk future dystopian horror setting, basically. But there's these big giant monsters and stuff that are sort of from another dimension, which create zombies and all these other things. So you're attacking one of these in the game, and your guys are traveling around. It's in a citadel, so it's rooms and hallways, and you're fighting things, swarms of bad guys and stuff. That one had special dice that you would roll that were different colors, and as you leveled up through the campaign, you would actually switch from one set of dice to the next to kind of show that you're leveling up. So the dice would increase your chance of getting hit. So like on the first one, maybe you only have a 1 in 4 chance of rolling a hit, but on the second one it's 50-50, and on the third, if you're high enough level, it's like 60 or 70% of the time. So it kind of worked that way. Definitely an interesting game, a lot of fun. Anyway, I do have a chance to do an attack and a ranged, so we'll try for a stab. You missed. We can't range attack you, so we'll range attack back there. Another miss. Getting a lot of misses. try the shadow daggers, but we're probably better off just swinging, I would think. Is the shadow daggers automatic? I'm worried about friendly fire with this. Because there is someone to the left or right of it, which would be my own guy. So I'm not sure I want to do that. As an experiment, I might do it anyway. Yep, it does hit my own person. Okay. Something to keep in mind. So I can still move and attack. I might. So you just took like 1 damage from that, so it's not a huge deal. These guys only have 2 health. So, since we're limited on attacks, let's move on up. We'll go ahead and take a swing. And for whatever reason, the characters with the least amount of weapon skill are the ones actually landing hits. I mean, the magic is probably automatic. Keep going for you. There we go. Well, that's everybody. I'm assuming we have to be adjacent if we want to use a bandage or something. We do have the Finger of Death scroll, but I feel like this is a waste, so yeah. One last bat. Oh! Big attack there. Not sure what we failed. Maybe it was the pinned roll? I feel like there should be a scroll. If there's dice rolls going on, I'd like to know like what the results were and stuff. Since you're pinned anyway, just chop away. Alright. River Troll Adrenal Slime. Okay. This item is no use in combat. I feel like it should. So yeah, combat's over, but you're stuck. So we took a couple points of damage there, and 1 point of damage on our Wayfarer. Not a huge issue, should be fine. Let's move everybody else up. Go there. And yeah, we could bandage each other. I don't think it's that important here yet. How much healing does it provide? 1 to 3. Yeah, I'd rather wait till we're at least 3 before I use it then. Alright, let's pop the next room. Nothing. I have to look and see if there's things like chests and stuff we can interact with. I'm assuming facing doesn't matter because I don't have a way to change my facing. I wonder if that was a factor. I bet you it was a factor in the original game. Because I think it was it mattered in Hero Quest, I think. But it's been so long since I played it, I don't remember for sure. Actually go there. No winds of magic. I think we want to reset here before we jump in, so let's take a turn to sort of get ready with the tanks up front. So as long as there's a diagonal space we can get through, we can move. But if it's solid, we're stuck. Alright, let's have you move in. Squashing bugs. Maybe the old farmer wasn't as mad as you previously thought. Calling the spider horde an army might be a stretch, but he was right. There's a lot down here. From the look of the room, it's only going to get worse. 3 giant spiders and 5 giant rats. I feel like they should be fighting each other. Multiple new journal pages. Let's see. Objective room, combat. I want to see... It's got to be under units, right? Wounded monsters. If I just do this, yeah, I can look at that. Giant rat. We've seen them before, but what about the spiders? Giant spiders, 2 wounds. I kind of wanted to get the info on them. They're all just giant spiders. There's got to be a way. Objective room lies at the end of the dungeon, contains the final goal. When we reveal it, they'll typically find that their goal is guarded by many monsters, which must be fought and defeated. We've got the pinning thing. Yeah, I feel like... Oh, there's an ogre in here, a bright wizard. So there's different stuff too, witch hunter. There we go. I don't know why it wasn't showing before. Look at the giant spider. Monstrous spiders are prevalent throughout the lands and lurk under the ground in caves and dungeons waiting for prey to get caught in their deadly webbing, where they can scuttle down and attack, sinking their venom-coated fangs into helpless flesh. Giant spiders are normally solitary monsters, but they will group together and attack when encountering a threat such as warriors. Okay. I am curious about poison as an issue. I don't see anything, but I wouldn't be surprised if they do end up poisoning me. I'm actually way more concerned about the spiders than I am about the rats, but that could just be me personally. Do we just take a swing here? Do we move in? Because I can't hit multiple. I don't have any abilities for that. I guess we just go for the clear. Let me push you forward a little bit. Go for the mop up behind. Figures, we get a miss. Gonna make a shield wall here of sorts. They could mop up, because we can do a close combat attack and still do a ranged with you. So let's go for a chop there. Another miss. Okay. We'll go here. Go for the stab. Excellent. Ranged attack. I don't know if it really matters. If I can just take out some spiders. Another miss. I feel like I'm missing a lot. Is it because I switched the weapons? Is that what's going on? Like, is there something... Is there an issue with that? I mean, it doesn't say. You just landed a hit, so... Well, like, my ability hasn't been able... Like, I haven't seen it. I can't change things anyway because we're in combat, but I'm just kind of curious if having the more advanced items without being a certain level might be a bit of a problem. I am not sure if that's why we're getting a lot of misses. But anyway, that's it for you. I can probably do an attack around the corner. Why do I not have the ability to cast a spell? Is it because I don't have line of sight? I mean, it's showing. Deselect that, please. Shadow Bolt. I mean, we could go for like a big area hit. I think that's worth doing. Let's try for that. Nice. 2 kills, 2 injuries, and I can still do a close combat attack. We'll try to hit you around the corner. Nice. My mage coming through, slaughtering, what was that, 3 things in one turn, making you, the Marauder and the Ironbreaker, look bad here. Well, that's everybody. Okay, a web. To see what that does. Automatic pin, I would assume. What is that? Death? Something? It looked like we took damage and then got health back on our dwarf. What was that? Look at your gear. Is there anything special with this stuff? No, we're just doing more damage to tougher enemies, that's all. Okay. Yeah, not sure what the deal is with there. Webbed. Each turn, a monster may attempt to web a warrior as many times as it has attacks. If the monster webs your warrior, they may not do anything. While webbed, a warrior may be bitten with the rest of the monster's attacks, with each bite guaranteed to hit. Attacks from other enemies are more likely to hit a webbed warrior. At the start of each warrior's phase, there's a chance the webbed warrior pull themselves free from sticky strands and act normally for the turn. Stronger warriors have a greater chance to free themselves, so we can't help him either. You're just kind of stuck. At least he's got the health for it. So that is unfortunate. You're just going to have to stand there. I'm still way more concerned about the spiders, which maybe I shouldn't be. No winds of magic this turn, so we can't do anything there. I mean, these guys are hurt, so we probably have a better chance of taking them out. Okay, get that one. I mean, I do have my item. If we don't use it, I'm assuming we take it into the next mission, which I think is way better. There's got to be some kind of phase between, where we maybe do some basic stuff before we jump into the next adventure. But I feel like anything we can hold on to, we should be able to carry into the next one. So I think I'm just going to hold off. You're just going to get banged up a little bit. Not much I can do about it. We've taken out most of the threats, though. Death Leap, that's what it was. So we did get a counterattack on that for whatever reason. What the heck was that? Berserk. What's Berserk? The Marauder has a chance to... I mean, I feel like this would be helpful to know. Before we went into a dungeon with him, the Marauder has a chance to go Berserk at the start of each turn when enemies are present or when enemies appear. There's a chance that he's unable to control himself and swings wildly, damaging adjacent warriors and preventing him from taking any actions for the remainder of the turn. If he's able to control himself, he remains in a Berserk state and gains one attack until the end of combat. The Marauder's chance of controlling himself increases as he increases battle level and as he kills enemies in each round of combat. So if I look at your character sheet, is it going to tell me anything about that? There's nothing here. It's under our passives. I should probably check, see if anyone else has any passives. So the Weight Watcher is able to dodge attacks. Whenever she's attacked, she has a chance to dodge the blow, so it causes no damage. You don't have one, apparently. Can do a weird slidey thing, and you just have your spells in here, and that's it. We do have the healing spell. I could use it, but there's only one spider left. I feel like we just kill it and go. But then again, we might carry our health over into whatever we do between dungeons. I'm not sure if we get it all back before we come back for another dungeon. So if there is magic, we might want to do a heal. Healing Mist we can't do. There's not enough magic. We could use bandages. I think we'll just rely on trying not to have a problem. Hopefully we'll heal up before we go into the next mission. So here we can't do anything, so his Berserk didn't give me the extra actions. He kind of failed. Did chop into Ungrim here a bit, which I'm assuming is going to make Ungrim unhappy. Get a leather satchel, something we can just sell in the market. You are victorious! Yeah, our mage got way more kills than anything else. We got at least 3 with everybody, which is decent. Well done. You've made it out of your first dungeon in one piece, more or less. Now let's go to the nearest settlement. Siegfriedhof. Spend your hard-fought earnings. Click on a settlement, then press the travel button on the settlement card to move there. So there's a whole other phase. We received 50 gold. Completed squashing bugs. The map. So there are quite a few quests. I'm assuming that's it for the game. So we can still look at our gear and stuff if we want to. I don't think we got anything that's special. The stuff we just sell, I don't think there was anything that we could use. Yeah, odd. I'm assuming if we looked... Oh, we've got more people now. We've got a Dwarf Troll Slayer. There's a Warrior Priest. An Archmage. Bright Wizard. Shadow Warrior. Ogre. And a Witch Hunter. A Witch Hunter, very cool. Yeah, so we have a whole big party. I wonder if we die, maybe we just have to sit out like a mission. So we might want to try to evenly level people up. We didn't level anybody up in that one. Yeah, I'd be curious. We'll look at the stuff. I think we might field the different crew and in the next one, and we'll kind of take a look at them when we jump in. Alright, that was just that. The map's where you navigate your warriors around the Warhammer world. Each settlement will have a quest associated with it. This appears as a red dungeon marker. White dungeon markers denote other types of quests. Completing these will open up a new settlement to explore. When your party's completed all the red dungeons in a region, a black dungeon will appear. These are incredibly hard, so make sure you prepare before tackling one. Settlements. You can sell and buy loot in settlements, level up heroes, and all manner of other activities. Select a warrior in the central carousel, and use the buttons located in the middle panel to send them off into town. Warriors may experience all sort of events when sent to locations. When you're ready to start adventuring again, just hit the Go Adventuring button. However, it appears someone wishes to speak to you first. The Miserable Minstrel. As the adventurers approach Siegfriedhof, they spy a lonesome figure sat upon a 2-league waystone to the town. Your party is wisely cautious. The man sees you coming but doesn't seem to care. Closer inspection reveals him to be wearing the garb of a minstrel. "I suppose you're going to rob me," he says with a dour expression on his face. Not having much use for a beaten-up instrument or his rags, you ignore the minstrel and move off towards Siegfriedhof. "Not thieves, then," he shouts after you. "But I bet you like riches all the same." Did he say riches? Your party pauses. Ah, it's got your attention. He jumps off the waystone and smiles for the first time. "I know where there's a hoard, you see. A pile of gold and jewels stolen by bandits. Same bandits stole my loot. Not this old thing, but an instrument of pure booty, encased in silver and inscribed in a most wondrous fashion. So I'll guide you to the dungeon. You clear out the creatures, keep the treasures, but the loot is mine. Meet me outside Siegfriedhof when you're ready." So we have the option once we're done in town. Okay, so, first things, we definitely want to sell our stuff. So, if we go to the market, there's a very aggressive sounding cow, I guess? It didn't sound like... Let's just sell our junk, that's fine, we'll keep everything else. Cursed Vamp braces armor. I mean, it's cursed. That sounds like a terrible idea. I think we're probably fine on most stuff. Hellheart. The heck is a Hellheart? 7 to 12 damage. Once consumed, damages all enemy magic users in line of sight. That's interesting. Healing, extra melee attack. That's not bad. But I think I'd rather level our guys up. Decreased chance being hit by a ranged weapon. Lightning blades, 4 weapon skill, 2 strength, and a 1 melee attack. That's pretty cool. It's way too pricey, but it is cool. More healing. I'm assuming everybody has bandages in the party. What about the people we haven't used yet? Did they start with bandages? Yeah, so everyone starts with bandages, it looks like. So that's fine. Yeah, there isn't much. There's a nice two-handed sword. It's 8 to 10 damage, and a nice bow. But I have a good bow already. Couldn't afford that. I can't afford either one anyway, it doesn't matter. I can't even afford the cursed armor, which, I mean, that's kind of sad for us, but oh well. So much for the market. The Adventurers Guild, just out of curiosity, is what? I guess we just kind of see our characters all at the same time. It doesn't seem like I can do anything with them. The pool of riches and glory in the old world is huge. New adventurers are always willing to join your group. The Adventurers Guild allows you to retire any of your existing group and hire new heroes into any vacant spots. Be warned though, once an adventurer retires, he will never wander off, never to be found again. I don't know why I would do that unless you can pick up like injuries and things that make you far less effective in combat and you'd want to swap somebody out. So we have the classes, but then we kind of get random people individually within them. So yeah, an interesting thing. I wonder why we would want to do that. Training grounds. Requires a lot of XP. So we do have to pay to level up as well. Or is this to pay to automatically do it? It's got to be to pay in addition. It just seems kind of weird that... Why are you the only one here that we can select? I guess because it was just on him. Circus. There's a traveling circus in town. Your warrior spend the rest of his day wandering from sideshow to sideshow. Having met the bearded woman and the two-headed goat, he decides to have his fortune read. Perhaps the sign above the door to that particular wagon should say, "Have your fortune stolen." As for the cost, your warrior is told nothing more than that his destiny lies with a tall, dark stranger from Erengrad. And we lost like $100. Awesome. Yeah, so it's just whoever that was we get to send into town. So there's no way we can afford to level anybody up anyway. So that's just leveling temple. Between adventuring, warriors will go to their deity temples and offer prayers to aid them in their next venture. Once your warrior has been blessed, they cannot gain any more until they prove themselves in a dungeon. Who knows what support your gods will bestow upon the warrior, if any at all. So we get a random bone for 50. I mean, we could do that. Herman, yeah, sure, go ahead. Why not? We're there. Meditating. So he picks up Defense of Gods. When activated, the warrior is able to ignore all incoming damage for the remainder of the turn. Okay, that's pretty cool. So I think we'll go ahead and call it there. We do have this quest we can do. I wonder when we go adventuring if we automatically do that or if it's going to go to something else. But we'll call it there. We're in Siegfriedhof. We have done one little quest, didn't get a ton of experience. It was probably about right for our level, but I was hoping we'd get more XP early on and it'd just be more difficult to level up later. But this has been more Warhammer Quest. I've been Disturbing Puppet. Thanks for coming by. Hopefully I'll see you next time. Until then, have a good one.